Ironically, this is an interim function which I expect will be as intense as it will be brief. To put it bluntly, there is a lot to do and very little time to do it in. I will not stand here and promise the moon and the stars. The time that I will serve in government is too short. I'm not running for office in the next elections, but I have chosen to serve this interim government because I believe I can make a contribution to the post-Irma recovery process. After the election, St. Martin voters will have elected the people they feel can complete this process. Note that while this interim government will not be able to solve every problem facing us, we will start the ball rolling in terms of the reconstruction and recovery of this country. Let's have a reality check. The people of St. Martin are hurting. The roofs of many homes are still missing or damaged. Some homes have crumbled under the pounding of Hurricane Irma. The economy is in a vulnerable state. Our airport is still a disaster zone, and our hotels and resorts are mostly destroyed. Many businesses remain closed, and too many people are jobless or face loss of income in the coming months. We must also deal with the added pressure of the next hurricane season, which starts in less than 6 months. In plain language, St. Martin is in a deep hole, and the climb out is steep. We cannot solve this problem alone. Thankfully, there is a reconstruction fund. An amount of €550 million has been made available by the Dutch government. But while a part of this fund has been earmarked for liquidity support, and a few million have already been committed for immediate aid, the bulk of the funds remains uncommitted. It's been over 4 months since the disaster struck, and only this week the process for setting priorities regarding the recovery has really begun. We need to get the committed Dutch funds into projects that will benefit the people, and we need to do it sooner than later. People want, need, and deserve help to get their lives back. This is only one thing I know. There's one thing I know about St. Martin, and that is St. Martin is resilient. And this resilience is driven by the spirit of our people. I also know that the St. Martin people are ready for recovery. We must get it done. The World Bank has been commissioned by the Dutch to manage the fund. According to the Dutch reconstruction representative, St. Martin is in the driver's seat. And I want to take them at their word for that. We must be in the driver's seat. St. Martin is a place that we know best, and we should know what to do with the funds that we need to fix it. Here is what I believe the government should do. The primary objective in the first month must be to quickly and professionally establish a Reconstruction Project Bureau. This bureau will help draft a program of priorities, including a clear vision statement for recovery of St. Martin. The priorities of this reconstruction must be listed and explained. With this approach, we can come together with the World Bank and the Dutch representatives, use input from stakeholders, and speed up the revival of the economy of the island, which in turn will continue to drive the economy. But most importantly, we need to clearly state what we intend to and how we plan to do it. Priorities must balance the social needs with the economic realities. Historically, the success of St. Martin has been the productive capacity of the island's residents and businesses. The situation after Hurricane Irma's destruction, including the despicable acts of vandalism and looting, is unprecedented. Never before has the damage of a hurricane been so catastrophic to our physical structures across every sector of the community and the economy. Both business and labor have been impacted. Reconstruction priorities must therefore provide social support to our people and at the same time stimulate the economic engine of this island. I'm prepared to work with my colleagues in government, the civil servants, professionals in the public and private sectors, representatives of the World Bank and the Dutch, to develop the program of priorities by February 15th. St. Martin simply cannot wait any longer for action. Again, we must set priorities and discuss how we're going to go about them. Together, we need to work on getting the reconstruction funds channeled into projects that will help us get back on our feet as soon as possible. As for my portfolio as Minister of Finance, let me say this. I'm aware of the fact that there will be a lot to deal with. We inherit the reality of a possible instruction from the Dutch government because there is no budget approved for fiscal year 2018. The CFT issued a negative advice at the end of 2017. Politically, we may not agree with this advice because we feel there should be consideration for the catastrophe caused by Irma. Nevertheless, this ministry has to deal with the advice, and that is exactly what we have started to do. We face a precarious financial situation. Besides the lack of a budget for 2018, we must deal with a deficit on our 2017 budget of over 150 million guilders. Complicating matters is the anticipated deficit for fiscal year 2018, which is estimated to an amount of 250 million guilders. Ways and means have to be found to reduce the deficit so that in future, St. Martin will not be drowning in debt and burdened by financial problems that will make the growth and development difficult, if not impossible. The work towards finding these solutions has started. The budget 2018 will be drawn up. I seek the support of the ministers and the civil service to keep the deficit down, improve the financial management, reduce waste, and improve efficiency. To that end, all decisions for spending of the last 90 days will be reviewed, and government departments will need to provide insight and substantiation for current spending and investments. I fully expect that the Council of Ministers will uncover many more challenges. So yes, the time is short and the hurdles ahead are daunting. To me, that means that all of us as incoming ministers have to carefully pick our battles and do the things that will provide the most benefit for St. Martin on the short term and long term. As difficult as I know this will be, we must focus on the forest and not get blinded by all the trees. This interim government council of ministers has committed to work as a team. I certainly will do my part. The clock is ticking. People want action. I look forward to cooperation, a positive can-do attitude, and support from all.
Hey guys, did you know that now with Telcel, if you accumulate $25 or more within one calendar month, you get 15 more?
15 more?
Yes, 15 more. However you want.
So I can top up $3 now, $10 next week, and so on until I reach or pass $25?
That's right. Get 15 more.
Wow! I feel like a 15 again.
Yeah. Right. Accumulate $25 or more within one calendar month and get 15 more. Telcel, when you want more.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NV.
This meeting is called in accordance with Article 30 of the Electoral Ordinance. Now, said article prescribes that the Central Voting Bureau needs to have a meeting after examining the list, which we have done on January 11th, that was Thursday, and on the day after, all political parties received a notification from us informing you of our findings after examining the list. That was on Friday. As such, you've received a letter, you received 3 days in order to remedy those defaults, which was yesterday at 5 p.m. was the deadline to do so. We have received the different remedies from the different political parties on time yesterday, and we have also examined those remedies. As such, the law prescribed that we will then, the following day, the subsequent day, Article 30 of the Electoral Ordinance, have to have a public meeting whereby we make a decision as Central Voting Bureau upon the validity of the list, if we're going to maintain all candidates on those lists, as well as about the reference that is being used on the list. First of all, I would like to inform you of the membership of the members of the Central Voting Bureau and whom will be having a vote here today. We have 5 members of the Central Voting Bureau, and we have 2 extraordinary members. As you can see, there are 6 persons sitting in front of you today, but 5 will have a vote. I will start with my colleague on the left, Cindy Marika is a member. We have Bas van der Bos, he will also be having a vote today as a member. We have Tamara Richardson having a vote today, and we have the extraordinary member, Narissa de la Rosa. She will also have a vote today, and we have our esteemed colleague, Mr. Patrice Combs. He will not have a vote today, but he is the one, as you can see, with the important documents in front of him, who has also examined the list, and he will be providing us with the list, the remedies, the remedies that have, the default that have been remedied, and we will decide on them one for one. Without any further ado, we would want to proceed in the order as the lists have been submitted to us on postulation day, January 5th, and that will be the SDM. So Mr. Combs, if you can pass. Upon the examination of the list of the SDM, which we did on the 11th of January, we have informed the SDM, the representative of the St. Martin Development Movement, of the various discrepancies, and they have been given 3 days in order to remedy those discrepancies. The discrepancies they vary from the not submitting of the decree of the electoral ordinance to the Model 4 form, which is the form from the receiver's office, which was not submitted as the way it should have been in accordance with the law, and also the sizing and the coloring of the picture. Those deficiencies, we have examined them again yesterday once they have been submitted, and we can state in terms of the validity of the list, the Central Voting Bureau has no objection in terms of the validity of the list of the SDM. In terms of the maintenance of the parties, the candidates on the parties, on the list, we have no objections regarding that as well. And also the reference that has been placed above the political list, the list of candidates, that is also fine. So our findings are for the SDM that there is no objection, and therefore that said list can participate in the February 26th parliamentary election. To give an official vote, I look at my members. Is everyone in agreement with that? Raise your hands. As such, it is unanimously decided that the SDM list has been approved and shall be going as such on the ballot. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the decision of the Central Voting Bureau. The decision is as such that all political parties that have submitted their list of candidates, as is with the amount of members or the amount of candidates, they are approved and are allowed to participate in the February 26th election. Any eligible voter that would like to basically appeal the decision today is allowed to do so by law, and therefore I make reference to the letter that I basically sent out to all political parties with that clause of the possibility in order to appeal any decision that we make here today. I've also made it publicly noted in the media as well. Every decision that we took here today is allowed to be appealed at the court in first instance, and you may do so. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to thank you for your presence and wish you much success with the campaign 2018 February 26th election. There will be another public meeting. It will be held this Friday. You will be informed of the exact time that it will take place, but we will make that known not only to the representatives of the political parties, but also via the media as well, that everybody will be invited to attend. That will be this Friday, and said meeting will be concerning the numbering of the list, as well as the coloring of which color will be granted to the political parties. Regarding the latter, I would like to make it known that even though political parties have indicated their preference of color when submitting their list, in accordance with Article 36 of the Electoral Ordinance, you are requested, or you are required, as a matter of fact, to indicate in writing at the hearing on Friday your choice of color. So as such, you're requested to do so as well on Friday. You will be informed of the exact time, and you will be informed of such ultimately tomorrow. Once again, thank you very much for your attendance today, and have a great afternoon.
People all across St. Martin are switching to a more rewarding experience. The WIB MasterCard Fun Miles credit card, better known as My Card. Earn 1 Fun Mile for every $2 spent, even abroad and online. This will quickly get you a ton of Fun Miles to redeem for travel, shopping, food, fuel, and much more. But there's more to My Card. Worldwide acceptance, an EMV chip for extra security, and 250 free Fun Miles with first use. Switch to My Card today at WIB.
Fun miles, fun within your reach.
Hey guys, did you know that now with Telcel, if you accumulate $25 or more within 1 calendar month, you get 15 more?
15 more?
Yes, 15 more. However you want.
So I can top up $3 now, $10 next week, and so on until I reach or pass $25?
That's right. Get 15 more.
Wow! I feel like a 15 again.
Yeah. Right. Accumulate $25 or more within 1 calendar month and get 15 more. Telcel, when you want more.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
1,
2,
3,
4. This is how common it is to develop a mental illness. 1 out of every 4.
4,
4.
4. But there is hope. Today, most mental illnesses can be managed and treated. Visit your general doctor if you feel concerned about your thoughts and behaviors or have some difficulty dealing with some of life's issues.
If you have been diagnosed and are suffering from a mental illness, keep in mind these 4 points to help you manage your mental health.
1. Get regular checkups with your general doctor.
2. Stay on your treatment plan to prevent relapses.
3. Find a strong support group in your family and friends.
And 4. Never be afraid to ask for help and look out for the warning signs of your illness.
Remember, you are not alone. We are as close as one.
2.
3.
4.
Learn about mental health illness by going to the Mental Health Foundation's website at www.mhf-sxm.com.
Party had a tough time getting the first day to be nominated by people to come in and support your party so you could run in the election, but you had to make it. How do you feel so far?
We feel very happy. We are very appreciated. It wasn't a tough time. It was a complicated time. We can deal with the toughness. We are very, very happy that at the end of the day, it's not how we start, but how we finish. And we have accumulated 249 signatures. We are very, very much appreciated of the persons who made time to come out of their work and otherwise, through traffic, everything, to be there to ensure that the PPA can participate in the next elections. In fact, precisely because we could not make the first day the quorum, many people approached us and said, no, PPA has to be part of this electoral process. PPA has to be part of this democratic process. So it had a very, very positive effect. And I want to say again, on behalf of all of my candidates, that we are very thankful and grateful to the people of St. Martin who understand what is at stake at these upcoming elections on February the 26th.
What would be your platform that you'll be campaigning on since now that your party has been going to be running on the list?
Well, we all know the devastation that Hurricane Irma has left behind on our people in our country, meaning infrastructural-wise as well. And our people are our best assets. They have been neglected now 4 months after the hurricane, and the PPA is taking care of the most vulnerable in first instance of our society. These persons are persons who have been displaced. These persons are persons who have lost their jobs. Over 6,000 persons living in St. Martin have lost their jobs. So our first responsibility is to ensure that there's a social net to help these people be able to take care of their family. 6,000 unemployed. We will make sure that we submit a project, a plan, based on the reconstruction funds that has been sent to St. Martin, and make sure that every person who has become unemployed after Irma receives at least $1,000 a month per person. And we are saying that we need to take care of these people. Within the next couple of months, it's going to be very hard on these families, extremely hard. When we submit that draft law, and we're here in Parliament, we are busy working with the draft law to support that quest. It is possible. This is no joke. This is no campaign false promises. We can deliver on that because we deal with facts. And fact is, number one, there's over 6,000 families who have become jobless, who are hurting. And it is our responsibility to make sure that these people are taken care of. If they are okay, the island, the country is okay. Of course, parallel to that, you will have a job training program and a job placement program, because some people became unemployed a month after the hurricane, and some 2-3 months into the hurricane. So, of course, it will not be 6,000 people receiving $1,000 immediately. It will be in accordance with how these persons became displaced and unemployed on St. Martin. A third point, there more, we have about five critical points, because it has to do with what St. Martin is going through right now. The third point, building permits, housing, social housing, mobile housing. People need a roof over their heads. We know that in December, the people of St. Martin, the most vulnerable in our society, were promised that they would get a roof over their heads, the senior citizens. To date, that has not taken place. It is shameful. So our third, it could be parallel with the other subject that I just mentioned, which is taking care of the jobless. Our priority is to ensure that people have a roof over their head, that the people who are right now in the Carnival village, displaced, with babies, months-old babies, that they have a solid roof over their head going into the next hurricane season. We are a very compassionate party. We are a very knowledgeable party. We are a very caring party. We have the network to get things done right. We will be accountable to the people, and we will ensure that St. Martin becomes great again. There's another issue that we know that is really plaguing our nation, and that is trust. Trust. Our people are hurting, and they do not trust the political system. So it is incumbent upon us, our party, to convey that we will not abandon you in terms of crisis, not before, certainly not during, and not after. Building back that trust between the body politic and our citizens is just as important as building those roofs. So we are ready for February the 26th. We are calling upon the people of St. Martin. Don't be despaired. We understand your hurt. We understand that you are disenchanted with this entire, like I say in Dutch, poppenkast that is taking place. Another election, another government. PPA, once elected, will stay in government for 4 years. We will stay in government for 4 years. We will not dissolve Parliament before its 4-year term. That's a message to the investors out there. The investors are also a group of persons who bring stability and security to our small nation. But if they don't have trust in the body politics, if they don't have trust in the governments that have been formed over and over again, then they will stay out or stay away, and that is not good for St. Martin. I understand that as a leader of a party. Our candidates understand that. As business people and persons who have been involved in all walks of life, in all fields, we know what it takes to bring this country back again. Credibly, with accountability, trustworthy. We can do that with the help of the people.